we implemented auto scaling along with application load balancer. We have also incorporated notification service, and also we created alarm with the help of CloudWatch. So everything we integrated it, and it's kind of the real time application where we can correlate. Okay, now let us jump into the next topic called status check. When you create any instance, the instance will come up with some option of some status check. Let me quickly, create one, and let me try to explain what exactly status check is. Now, as and when we create an instance, there will be two types of checks happening. So there will be two types of checks which will be uh, introduced as part of your instance creation. Okay, let's see. Server. Let me create a server. Your server refers to EC2 instance or your computer, right? So let me select the default one and set the key pair. As we have, let me select the existing security group. Okay, and let me click on launch. So we are launching this application. While launching this particular server, there are two types of status check will happen. One is system check, and another one is instance check. So before this particular instance coming to active state or working state, so that there will be two types of evaluation will happen, and there will be two types of checks will happen. The first check would be of system check. What exactly a system check? See, for example, if I am creating this particular instance in North Virginia region, okay, under subnet one, and for example, let us assume that this is in the data center one as well. Ideally, we'll not come to know about the data center in real time, but just for our understanding practice, so let us consider this particular instance is getting created in data center one, which is in North Virginia under particular sub. So the first check talks about the infrastructure where exactly this instance is getting created. Please understand. For example, this is the data center. This is the data center, and this is in a particular subnet. And let's say this is the region. Right? So let's say this is the region, and within that we have availability zones or subnets, and within that, so this is the data center. And here I am planning to create one EC2 instance. Now, the first check before actually getting, this EC2 instance getting created. So first it does check the health check of these hardwares or these locations where exactly these availability zones are created, where exactly these data centers are hosted. So based on these conditions, it does check the status or health check of these components. So that refers to systems. And once systems checks OK, then it starts creating the instance check. What exactly it does consider while creating the instance? So when I say instance, it is nothing but my computer, correct? So whatever the physical computer which I see, it does consider all the aspects. For example, it does take care of CPU, memory, disk, as well as network as well. Because this is whatever I'm showing here, this is the computer, physical computer which I have in terms of laptop. Whereas if I'm creating a computer in this particular environment, this is also a computer. This is hosted somewhere in North Virginia, which is in America, but this computer is not maintained by me. It is maintained by someone else, right? So these are the factors. A lot many factors. Not only the CPU, memory, network, and all. There are a lot many factors which come into picture. So while creation of that instance, it does take care of checking these status. That is called as health check. It can be a network, it can be a disk, it can be a memory, or it can be a storage. Anything or volume, you can say. Right? So these many aspects we just consider before actually creating the instance. So do you see my point? Whenever we launch our application, see if this is in running status, the status check should say 2 by 2 checks are passed. Correct? We will see that it will come, 2 by 2 checks. Probably sometimes the first check would be as we have 2 by 2 checks, right? So the first check would be of system check. System check refer to these environments, whereas the instance check refers to the number of parameters which are involved as part of your creation of your instance. This is about the instance check and system check, right? So we can go through this some of the theory part. So system check probably what exactly it does check while performing system check. It may looks for network connectivity, system power, right? So if you find some issues on your power, then definitely the system will turn off. So it does take care of all these aspects. Now we may face some issues. We may face some issues on your system. Sometimes this status checks get may fail. Typically, typically our system should be if my system should be up and running, if I'm able to work with my computer, the status check of your computer should be in this condition, which is 2 by 2 check pass, right? Okay. Now let us try to understand what exactly 2 by 2 checks pass. Okay. When you see this 2 by 2 checks pass, which means both the status has passed. What are the status? One is the system check and another one is instance check. Right? Now, sometimes, sometimes we may see the status check as 1 by 2 check status. Right? Sometimes we may see the system status check as 1 by 2. If you see 1 by 2 checks pass, which means your system check is fine, which means whatever the hardware you are trying to create your machine, those performance or those conditions are fine, but you have some issues on your computer. You have some issues on your computer. When I say when we have some issues on your computer, it can be issues with any of these parameters within your computer. Correct? So sometimes you may face a situation that you may get 0 by 2 status check, which means your complete this infrastructure wherever you are creating this is also down and your system is also down. See, ultimately, uh, in our case, either system check should get passed, then only we'll be able to create our instances. Because this is my platform where I'll be able to create my instances, right? So if my platform itself is not working, then obviously I'll not be able to create my instance. So ideal situation would be ideal situation would be always we may get system check pass, but we may face some issues in the network check. Sorry, instance check. Here, these things I think we can take in care. But if you see system check is failed, it is not in our control. It has to be handled by AWS only. But this will be the rare scenario. System checks will be maintained by AWS only. But instance check, if something goes wrong with the instance, that can be taken care by ourselves. Right? So how to do that? So in order to do that, let me try to introduce some issues on this machine so that I should get this 1 by 2 status check. So what I'm trying to do here, I'll just shut down some of the service within this instance so that system instance checks get failed, but my system's uh, status should be up and running. Okay, let me do that. So how to do that? So let's take an example of one of the network service. As I mentioned, it is a part of your instance. So let us try to shut down, or let us try to stop this particular network service on your device. So in order to do that, let me either I can directly click here to connect. So this is one of the options. If somebody is facing some issues with all those, with, for example, if you are facing some issues on Puttier with some other tool, you can always go and connect with this option. How did I connect? Just click select the instance, click on connect, and click on EC2 instance connect, and you give your just validate your user default username and click on connect. Okay. Now I'm in the console. This is the console which is given by AWS. Now what is the command? So I'm planning to stop the network uh, service. So sudo service network stop. Now okay. So what exactly is happening now? We are trying to shut down the networking configuration. This is very much important configuration in order to spin up your computer. So now I'm introducing the issue for this computer. Now in my EC2 console, probably in some time, I should be able to see the status as 1 by 2 checks passed. So which means the instance check is getting failed, whereas your system check is getting passed, right? And for that, we have certain solution. We will implement that. And yesterday, Vinod was asking to create an alarm for a particular instance. So we'll just try to make use of this opportunity. So and we will try to implement an alarm, and automatically AWS should take it. It should take care of the instance check to be correct. What I'm trying to say, if my see every time it will not be able to continuously monitor our application, correct? So you see 24/7 we can't keep a high, and we should be monitoring this status check and everything, right? So for that we should have something, some automation process, so that as and when this particular instance status checks fails, we will trigger one alarm, right? And that alarm will take care of the rebooting the instance, right? We will see that. No, don't get confused. Probably just need some time. So that we should be able to see the status check as 1 by 2 pass. Let's see the loading of putty. You have not got the medicine, right? Yes. Let's come down to this. I'm not able to log into this machine because I've shut it down the network device. So as network device is shut it down, I'll not be able to connect to this machine via internet, right? So that's the reason I'm not able to log into this machine. So soon, the status check would come to 1 by 2 checks passed. Do you see my point? So here, if my instance health check is fine, then it should result with 2 by 2 checks passed. So the first would be it does check for the system health check, and later it does check for instance checks, instance health check, right? And typically this will be the very rare scenario we get, but this is the 100%, this is 99% scenario we see 2 by 2 checks pass, but at least 1 or 2% we may end up with receiving this status, which tells us that instance status is not working fine. So let us, if that is the case, it should come like 1 by 2 status check. It does take some time. Let us wait for it. Okay. If meantime, it will come to 1 by 2 check pass state, then how to resolve it? So if this is the case, there is only one option we have, that we must restart or reboot this particular instance, right? So what we'll have to do, we need to select this instance and come to instance state and click on reboot instance. Please understand, select your instance and click on reboot instance. This is the only way where we can resolve this particular issue. Okay, now it is come. So one by two status check passed. What exactly it is saying as per the document? When I say one by two, which means system check is fine, but instance check failed because we have introduced one issue, right? We have stopped the network settings. Now this can be resolved if we just go ahead and reboot this instance. This will be working fine. But in real time, it will not be keep on monitoring these instances and status check, right? So it has to be automated, right? So probably if due to some reason, if my system is getting failed, then I should create some facility so that it does check for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Then if the system health check or if the instance health check is failing, then automatically I tell my computer to reboot itself, right? So that can be achieved with the help of alarm. We know that's what you're asking, right? So see, we can create alarm, we can set some parameters, and we can make alarm to be triggered as per our need, right? So just select your instance, right? Here you have something called as alarm state. Click here, right? So here we are creating alarm. See exactly when I say alarm, it should be under CloudWatch, right? So I'm creating alarm. If you want to have some notifications, like yesterday we did it, right? So you can create a topic, and inside the topic you can have a subscription. So where you can mention the recipient, right? So as of now, I don't need it. If you want, you can implement it. You can create a topic and assign so that you can also get a email alert as well. That I have shown yesterday. If you want, you can check it. Now, I want to have a alarm. So just enable this option and select the possible option here. See what exactly I need to do. If see, my requirement is for this particular instance, the only solution is I'll have to reboot the instance. For some scenarios, if you need option of stop or terminate, you can always select that. But for my requirement, I've stopped the network service of a EC2 instance. In order to get that machine back, I need to reboot the machine. But I should not reboot the machine manually. It has to be taken care by AWS automatically. So that's the reason I'm creating a service called alarm. So what action to be taken care by this alarm? So it has to restart. Now, under which circumstances it has to restart, right? So here you just select this drop down. Here you see type of data to sample. So these are the metrics. See, all these are which are involved as part of your instance creation. So whenever instance getting created, it does consider all these parameters. So for now, what is my thing? System check failed instance. If you find some other opportunity or some other reasons, you can select it. As of now, my system checks failed because of some of the service which we have shut it down in the instance. So this has to be corrected whenever my instance status checks is failed. And how frequently it has to check. Here I can give the timeline. We can keep on monitoring all the things, but just to be, to just to consider timeline, I'm just giving 1 minute. So, system checks will be keep on monitoring, or this alarm will be keep on monitoring this facility for each and every minute. Then let me create alarm. Now, see, I did not select this option, and I did not, reboot this instance, but this particular machine gets automatically rebooted with the alarm, which we have created. See, we have created alarm, and it is already working. Now, it does take some time, and it will come to 2 by 2 status check path. So this is the ideal way we can make use of the alarm, and with the help of the alarm, I can automate the process. Okay. This is what the status. So When I say status checks, we have two types of status check. One is system one and EC2 or instance one. System checks will, if something goes wrong with the system checks, then AWS has to involve to resolve those issues. And if something comes up with the instance issue, then we can be resolved. So those things we can automate the process. Okay. So I've given you the steps. So just please refer these steps. I think that will help. Okay. So this is okay. Let me show that. Uh, please understand it. What exactly it is saying in alarm. What we discussed when I say in alarm, which means this particular functionality is satisfied, which means this my alarm has identified this instance check failed for one consecutive minute, right? So it is in action already. Soon, this machine will be up and running. We'll wait for a second. Okay, meantime, if you have any questions on this topic, we can discuss.
Naveen, what is this one by one for alarm?
Which is implementing. I mean,
Okay.
one by one, which refers to this is the condition which I have given, and it has found that particular condition, which is satisfied,
Okay.
which is in functioning state.
Naveen, as a part of dashboard, we'll be able to see the all the instances whatever we have created, right?
You can create it. You can see it. This is the
Yeah,
dashboard.
yeah. No, my question is in the dashboard, we'll be able to see all the instances which are up and running, or any case of power failure or such kind of things. It will display the status check over here, whether means the instance state, whether it is running or stopped or terminated, such kind of things. If it is like the hard disk is running out, or the RAM capacity we need to increase, such kind of triggers we won't get on the dashboard. See, since
See,
we have
all this
deliberately
to
this
manage.
option, we are able to understand, like, because of the network, it went down. If it is some XYZ reasons, then
See, the only possible things we can do on the instances. The only option is rebooting the instance. If something, whatever, it can be issue with the network, it can be issues with the disk or memory. So we cannot fix any of the issues, right? If it is a system issue, I mean, if it is an instance issue, right?
okay.
It's a hardware issue. So that can be resolved by Amazon itself. See, if it is a system thing, so it will take care. And if it is a instance status is getting failed because of so many reasons, as you mentioned, no memory or hard disk or whatever, at that point of time, it will come back to 1 by 2 status only, right? So
Okay.
uh, it can be any of the reasons. So that's what we need to mention. By see, that's the reason we have created an alarm, right? So in the alarm, you were saying so many options as well. So you need to mention these many. You need to create these many alarms by mentioning your conditions.
Okay.
See, for now, I just mentioned, system check failed, and if some issues in the network, and you can give, the condition based on that, and you can create alarm. So if by any chance, if your network or if your instance is getting failed because of this network issue or network, your network in, then this particular alarm gets triggered, then automatically we should be able to reboot the instance. In short, this particular hardware will be allocated by AWS, so we cannot go ahead and fix anything there. So the only option we have to reboot the instance. So you
Uh,
can consider the number of parameters. See, it has come to provide a structure. You can consider number of parameters. The one of the parameter I've taken as a network failure. So you can take a disk issues, a disk failure, or the capacity, anything. You can create an alarm as per the your need.
Okay. Okay. Naveen.
Naveen, I have one question. Let's
Yes.
take we created alarm. Like for if mission is like it checks file 1 by 2 and it's reboot the mission. For example, let's say even though it rebooted, it didn't come up, then we can create like if alarm fails, right? Fails to like it try to reboot it, but it didn't work. So I need an instance to be created. Can we create a secondary or on top of that one? Kind of like if default action failed, do other thing like that.
Since we can have a condition also. Definitely it can be taken care. We can have a conditions. See, that's what we have cloud formation template as well. So here, there, we can write some conditions, and we can also maintain these alarms based on number of conditions evaluation as well. Failover mechanism, this is possible.
Okay,
That can be done.
got it.
Okay. So this is about this one. So let me